Live. Good morning. Happy, well, it's not Manly's Monday, but a good morning to have coffee. Good night. Oh, so I don't know about where you're at, but it is cold here. I am absolutely freezing, guys. I am absolutely freezing. Like my toes are like tingling. They're so cold. Still didn't get that light replaced. For whatever reason, the old lights I have. So the light that was in there was an LED. Weird that an LED went bad, but apparently it did. And or maybe it's just a bad connection. I don't know. I need to mess with this more. I always need to mess with something more. But the lights I thought I had that were LEDs were, for whatever reason I saved, burnt out light bulbs. But let me get the chat screen popped up, and we'll see how things go. Pop out chat. Oh, Alan, you're already in here. Good morning. Good morning, Alan. How are we doing today, buddy? All right, and chat is live, so let's hop over to that chat screen. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Facebook group or not, but I got the I got my base outfit table up and running. Yes. Hey.
Oh, okay. You can go bottom.
It's a morning. I got my outfit table up and running. It's just the base of it right now, so it's just the top, and I have a lot of work to do with that. Hey buddy, why don't you go hang out with Mama? It's cold in here. There's a lot of things I can't have you in here for without express supervision. Go on. Where was I? Oh, Alan. Not bad. Fired up the wood stove, made the house nice and warm. Nice. I wish I had a wood stove that I could fire up to keep me warm. But the landlord controls the heat, and it is freezing here. But Jill, you're on here too. Wow, good morning. Is the little bean watching as well? Connor, please.
Hey, Connor. Come here.
Go with Mama.
Come here.
1, 2.
Sorry.
He's been very cantankerous the last couple of days. And Eileen. Wow. Full house this morning. Good morning, guys. Jill, sorta. She's been wrestling the cat at the moment. That's not too bad. So some little boy's about to get in trouble, I think.
1, 2. And give me the hammer.
Yep,
No, you're done with the hammer.
he's in trouble.
We're no longer in need of the hammer.
So, if you've been paying attention, and I think all three of you have been to the Facebook group, I got my giant outfeed table. It is the size of a full sheet of plywood, so 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. It's dead level, dead flat across the whole thing. I just need to fix some screws on the top of it, and then it'll be good. But there's a few screws that kind of went in a little wonky and they're sticking out just a little bit. I need to make drawers for it, and I need to finish the bottom side of it, but right now it is a functional outfeed table and assembly table, which is awesome. The one I had previous was just entirely insufficient for my space and for the type of work I've been doing. So it's very good to get a big upgrade. And I'll actually be able to put shit away. So there's that. I got a bunch of big contracts coming down the pipeline, and I also have a new employee. Aaron Moskal. Moskal? I think it's Moskal. Aaron Moskal. And you've seen him in the pictures for the last one. He just started, and it's good to get a little it's good to have help and just someone to talk to while you're working and to talk through your problems with. Alan, I did a little bit of wood and leather work yesterday. Oh, really? What'd you do? You gotta start taking pictures and posting them on the group so we can all start, talking, collaborating, and doing stuff. I cannot wait till I get my forge set up. Just so when I walk in there, it's not going to be so cold I regret my life decisions. Because I know it's ice cold in there right now. Alan sent a photo. Ooh, very nice. I can see why you didn't post that to the group. What ounce leather is that you have there? Looks like it's 7 to 8 ounce. Very nice. So, little man. I don't know why I got it in my head today. But I was walking through between 13 and 15 ounces. That is thick leather. Wow, that's thick. Pretty awesome, though. I bet that would be a very interesting implement. I actually have a contract where I need to fill out, get a bunch of charcuterie boards with handles on them made, and a stand for finishing them. That's one of those things that I need to. Been neglecting a little bit, but I need to get on it. That's what she said. Oh. We're going to the dark side today. But I need to get a pattern together and get a bunch of those made. Thuddy, not stingy. Well, I mean, with 13 to 15 ounces, if you're going to make that stingy, you're going to create one hell of an impact to get that to be stingy. Ooh, that sounds nice. Yeah, the picture Alan sent me, I cannot show it on YouTube and keep my kid safe branding. But it is a nice implement, Alan. But yeah, I do have to get a contract, and the contract stipulates that I would be making the boards and the hanger. The other person would handle sales and the artwork on the boards. So it'd be like either like a paint or an epoxy type, like multicolor type thing. And then we'd split it 50-50. So that's a very good way for me to eat up some of my larger scrap that I really don't have a good use for. In such that, like, it's too small or it's too big to throw away, but it's too small to have any other practical use. And a lot of it's like pine and stuff. So it would take artwork really well, and I mean, it's not for like heavy use, but I just need to get it out of my life. So I need to get a pattern made up, and I need to get a bunch of just churn them out, make the thingamajig, and hand it off to the other person, and hopefully collect some money in a few weeks. But Eileen, you need to come pick up your stuff. I'm gonna be pushing all of it down to it's gonna be all stored in the basement of the church for the time being, but if you do want it, you are gonna have to come take it at a certain point, and that includes the slab flattening jig that I have, the table saw if you want it. I mean, it's kind of crap now. The router table, the outfeed table, the finger joint jig, which would need to be readjusted, the table saw sled, and the router fence. So everything else should easily be able to fit in the back of your car, except for maybe the outfeed table itself. And the wheels on the bottom would have to get fixed. At least one of them needs to get fixed. They were just cheap wheels, but it's not a bad table, especially if it's on a flat surface, like a flat ground, like in a regular basement. But it's just too small for the work I'm doing now. It didn't match my new table saw. And because it's not a torsion table, and the garage floor that I have my shop in slopes so dramatically towards the drain, it just twisted that table. Now when I put it downstairs, the table flattened right back out. So there's nothing fundamentally wrong with the table itself. It's just it's too small. I've outgrown it. A little nostalgic about it too, because that was my first like outfeed table for my first real table saw. It fits a Harbor Freight table saw, and the router plate for the router table I made it myself, but it's made to fit a Porter Cable 690. So like $100 table saw, and like I think I got the Porter Cable router for like $90. It was on special. But for everything or at least 90% of all the woodworking and stuff that you do, it should be way more than sufficient to last you several years. No charge. I just want it gone into a home that's going to use it. So, just one of those things. I'm a little sad to see it go, though. I need to start trimming out the rest of the shop. Eileen, I have to figure out where in the basement it can go because there's no major outlets other than the ones I have in the light bulb attachment. Well, I mean, you saw the shop. The only outlet I have right now is in the ceiling. So I just, drop a cord down. I'm planning on either this coming week or the following week to do the electricity, as long as my shop hand is available, because he's done electricity before. Thinking of making one with the leftover Chicago screws. Ooh, that would look good. And also be like semi-replaceable then too. I have to figure out where in the basement it can go. I mean, with those smaller table saws like the Harbor Freight one, you can run, a 250-foot power cord to it. Actually, you could probably run a 500-foot cord, and it would still work. They have such a small, they have such a low draw on the attachment, or they have such a low draw for the power that any length of power cord doesn't work. Would work fine. Same thing with the router. I've run it off a 250 and a 500-foot cord before. And I've seen no difference in performance or startup time. Usually, the startup time is where you would have the highest draw, unless you're putting on an extremely heavy load. But I don't see you cutting like 8-quarter oak on your table saw. And even with that Harbor Freight one, I've been able to cut 8-quarter oak without much issue. But Alan, when you're working with the Chicago screws, especially something in that sort of a application, one thing you should definitely do when you go to put them in and tighten them for the final time is take just a little drop of glue. You don't have to use super glue, just even regular white glue would work, and dab it on the threads and then tighten it in, and that just helps lock the threads in so it doesn't wiggle free during normal or heavier use. Just a little pro tip for you. And yeah, not that much. Yeah, I didn't think. I mean, I could see you still working with oak and maple and cherry and stuff. Even though I know you primarily work with pine. And it has no problem. I've had no problems cutting 2x4s and even 2-inch oak with it. So it's no problem. Alan was thinking of using thread lock. I mean, you could use thread lock. It's not really necessary, but it's Why not? If you have someone you really you want to make sure it doesn't come out ever, use the thread lock or the super glue. Knock your socks off. Once I have my shop in order, what I'm going to be doing is tackling this nightmare next. Maybe taking a few days and I don't know, because finally cracked that. I was trying to crack that all morning. This cold weather makes my joints really stiff, and they really need a crack. But when it's cold, the joints want to crack, but the muscles are so cold they don't want to stretch and crack. And so it's like a catch-22. Can't crack it, but it has to crack. But you can't crack it. But yeah, I for Connor's birthday last week, you know, as crunch time came, this room just became a catch-all for everything. And I need to start gearing up to start, you know, producing, you know, goods and stuff, because there's potentially a craft fair next month that I'm going to be in, and I'd like to have some leather goods there. And without a leather station, there's no way for me to really practically make leather goods. And now that I have the assembly table and the shop hand, I can crank out wooden stuff. I don't think I'll have time enough to, even if I do get the forge done, I don't think I'll have time enough to make any items, because I don't know, with the temperatures dropping. And Alan, you'd be better to speak at this than I would, but I don't think this is a good time of year to do any heat treating. So I think I need to wait until you know, spring to start, you know, putting out, you know, metal goods. Well, I mean, I guess I could do hooks and stuff, hooks and like S hooks, daisy chains, and J hooks, things like that. Maybe nails, make a nail header. But I don't think heat treating this time of year would be a good idea. So I think I'll make like a bunch of chopping blanks, and then kind of just anneal them and put them away, and then just worry about heat treating in the summer. What is your professional opinion? Because I think I'm going to make the herb choppers out of 01. That seems like it'd be a good steel to use for that. And I think if I get like 30 or 40 bars, or 30 or 40, you know, herb choppers, I could probably do all that heat treating all at once. I need to get like a little toaster oven out in the shop or something, unless I get like unless I get myself a like a little rosebud torch. I should probably get a rosebud torch anyways, a little oxyacetylene. But for the hardening especially, I should definitely I think I should definitely, you know, wait until spring, just so it's not, you know, such a dramatic temperature change, and everything will be a little bit nicer, a little bit warmer. I've never done any heat treating in the winter, and I've never done any forge welding in the winter, so I'm not sure how any of that would work in any sort of a practical application. And I mean, I know people have done it before, but um, I haven't had a forge in like 12 years. So I don't know. Yeah, I would wait on the blades, but hooks and stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be hard would be okay. Yes, that's kind of what I figured, because I mean, the like nails and hooks and stuff, they don't need to be heat treated. They just need to be, put together and then um, assembled, basically. So yeah, the last time I tried to do, I was trying to do a basket weave, and it was the first time I was doing any serious forge welding. I had a big bushy beard at the time, and I took it up and I brought it up to my face and I was looking at it. I was holding it with pliers, obviously. I was looking at it, and it upset my face on fire. That was fun. And if you're venting it enough that you can close the overhead door, you might be able to heat treat. Well, okay, so I'll have an overhead. I'm gonna have an overhead hood. I know a lot of people really like the side blast hoods, forge hoods, but I think I want an overhead, just because of placement and stuff. Maybe I'll do a side blast. I don't know yet, but I just don't think I can reliably get the heat that I want, and I'd rather not push it and get frustrated. So I'll have enough ventilation that it'll be safe to use the forge with all the doors closed. In the winter and stuff, but I don't know if I want to push it. One thing I am going to do though is take drop cloths and hang those all across the ceiling, as a semi sound absorption, but also to trap in some of the heat while still having a permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane. Which that'll keep some of the heat down, but I don't know if it would keep enough down that I would still be comfortable welding or treating. So yeah, I think I'll just make the blanks and leave them soft until spring. I wonder how many I should keep. I wonder how many I should make though, because I don't want to just have a crap ton on hand that never sell. So I'm thinking maybe like 20 of them would be a good number to start with. I mean, that's got to be a little bit more on the more expensive side of things, but maybe 10 would be good. I don't know. I don't know until I actually get out there and make them and start selling them, I guess. But I want, when I get the website up and running, and when I get the all the craft fair stuff ready to go, I want to be able to have enough stock ready that I don't I'm not like sitting around and just idly, or so that I don't want so much stock around that's just going to be sitting around forever, but I also don't want to have so little stock that I'm not stressing before every show. And I'd like to have, I would like to be able to go to 2 shows a month, if I'm able to do this full time, which I think I can pull off by spring. I don't know. I also don't know what other things would be good to make. I know, like, I know I definitely want to do like the herb choppers, because I think those would go well with. Well, thank you, Eileen, because I think that would go well with the cutting boards and stuff. I'm trying to keep everything, like, group everything into families, so that if I sell one item, it kind of acts as a sale for all the others in that group. Like the beard bead would also help sell the beard balm, and then the combs. The oversized coasters would sell, the muddlers. Because if you're going to have that nice coaster, you're going to want to make a drink. How do you make a nice mixed drink? Well, some of them require muddlers. Things like that. Twisted hair sticks, that would be a good one. Well, that'd be a really good one. And I could do the hair beret clippy thingy out of like leather and wood. Maybe I could even do one out of copper, to go along with the twisted sticks, and then I have like a little like section for women then, because like 99% of my stuff is kind of geared towards men. Like I have nothing really to go with the wallet or the stuff like that, but like or if you're not going to be getting the muddler, maybe with that big oversized coaster, maybe you want to get a leather mug, leather mug, one of those coffee mugs that Eileen designed for me and is going to be producing. So I don't know. One thing, brooches. Ooh, brooches, that's good. It's good because women sometimes have issues finding something for a man. You're really? Usually, guys are pretty easy to shop for. Ask them for a list and you pick something off the list, or you get them, like in the case of your husband, a custom-made belt that apparently he loves. I still need to finish the video on that. I took bottle openers. That's a great one. I need to make bottle openers, and I think that would be rather easy to make. You just basically drift a hole in a little bar, put on your touch mark, and then peen out the little clippy thingy to grab the bottle. Not when they have everything. Does Rich have everything though? I mean, you can get him you can custom order him a nice leather tapestry of a Mario level. Just saying. At craft fairs, there's a lot geared towards women and not men. He has me, so yes. Ooh. Craft fairs, there's a lot geared towards women and not men. You're right. And usually the guys who do go to craft fairs are kind of like, this sucks. Because you're right, there is nothing really for guys at most craft fairs. But yeah, I need to get into the craft fair circuit somehow. Because I know there's people you need to talk to, and I'm not sure if I need to get into juried fairs or general fairs, or where that line is. Ooh, one thing I do want to get into making is, and this will sell like the hooks and stuff, is pot rack holders. And basically it's just a bar that you texture, and so instead of just a flat bar, you have it come in maybe an inch, and you have it, big hoop on it, and that attaches to your wall with two bolts into your studs. Then you put your your little hooks on there, your little J hooks, and you hang your pots and pans on there, and your pots and pans are up, out of the way, and still relatively easy to access. And that would be something nice. Leaf keychains. Ooh. I could do those in wood and leather, or metal and leather. Wood and leather. A wooden keychain. That would be interesting. For a while, I was actually thinking about doing my business cards as a piece of veneer with a slice of aluminum and then a slice of leather. So it's all three materials that I generally work with. And then having my logo printed on there. And then I realized how insane that would be to custom make all of those, because I would have to do them all, and that would be an insane amount of work for a business card. Leaf keychain, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think I can do that. Brooches are a good idea too. And I can do brooches like with a little leaf or something, and have that kind of like almost like the brooches from Lord of the Rings, with that. How they have the Lothlorien thing. I think the next thing I need to do is I would also like to make now this is going into like the seamstress side of things, and maybe I should hire a seamstress or find someone who wants to get in on this, but really nice like shop aprons, and it kind of be a weird combination between a blacksmith apron, woodworker's apron, and a farrier's apron. So because I want it to come down like past the knee, but so you can walk around, I want to have a split between the legs. It would have a gusset between the legs, so you could still walk around and move and do stuff, and then it would wrap around and attach behind the knee, and then maybe 2 attach points, and then I don't want it hanging from my neck, so I kind of draw heavy inspiration from the one I have currently. And maybe a couple of those would be a good sell with like a heavy canvas, like duck cloth type thing, with leather reinforcements, and I have never found a hammer ring that has actually fit the hammers that I need, that I use on a regular basis. And usually because the hammerhead is so much heavier and overbalanced from the handles and stuff. And I mean, the majority of blacksmith hammers are way heavier, and the weight is distributed way differently than a standard like carpenter hammer. Like a Pinafore apron. I don't know what that is. Let me look that up. Pinafore? No. Well, the shoulder straps kind of. It would have that same general strap layout. I'd have them padded because it's going to be holding a lot more weight than just a standard apron. But it has that cross in the back. You have your shoulder straps and it has a cross in the back. So yeah, sort of like that. And then you have the farrier's apron too. Which you can see it has that split in the bottom where your legs are, so it can wrap around. Because when I'm doing a lot of like detail work and stuff, I actually like to sit down. And sometimes a lot of the stuff will spill out, hit my chest and fall down. So I'd rather have my my whole upper legs taken care of. They don't have to have that heavy padded reinforcing like a farrier's apron does. You see a lot of them have that extra reinforcing for, like, when the horse is resting its hoof on your leg. So it doesn't need to have that reinforcement, but just that shape. What is this guy? Looking at Vintage Gentleman right now. And they have an apron on here. It's $170. And that kind of has the right layout. I don't think it comes up high enough on the neck. Now, for the neck, instead of having it a flat cut right here, I'd actually like to have it V up a little bit and then come down. Just because I like having a bunch of stuff like right here. Like, I like having pencils and markings, marking stuff right on my chest, so that when I'm sitting down, I can just grab it, one right here, put it back. So I'd like to have like a set of calipers, and maybe across my stomach I'd have a thing for a bevel gauge and a little square or something. The things I use most often, I would like to have the most readily available. They don't tie, they slip over the shoulders. Yeah, mine, the apron I have now, it slips over the shoulders. It's a little funky to get it on, because you have two shoulder straps that go straight up over the shoulder, and then in the back you have a little, like a bungee cord between them to kind of keep things tight on you, and then it comes down and hooks in directly under the arms. And that's that's kind of like a fixed. Those are the fixed points, and then lower at the waist, it has your tie back strap. So that's what I'd like to have on these. I'd like to have that tie back strap, and then more strapping underneath the just behind the knees, so it hangs past my legs or past my knees, so that no matter what application I'm doing, I have full coverage across my body, or full protection across the front of my body. And since it'll be for woodworking and blacksmithing and welding, it needs to be out of non-flammable materials, so leather and probably like a heavy cotton fabric, or yeah, probably heavy cotton fabric. I'm not sure. I know I made my one cloak out of duck cloth, and it is super. It is warm, and it is durable. But I think that was a pretty lightweight duck cloth that I used, and I think I'd like to use something maybe double the thickness of a regular pair of jeans. So thicker than what I used, but not like obnoxiously thick. I'm not sure what I'd like to have, as far as coloration. But it'd be nice to get like a seamstress or something, so that once I have my patterns and stuff laid out, that I could hand it over to them, and then have them fabricate 40 of them or whatever, or fabricated per what you call it, found one, but the price on it, wow, right? Like, I mean, I'd like to make one that is like of course I want to make one that's as expensive as possible while still keeping it semi affordable. But yeah, the prices on really nice aprons are, well, contingent on how nice the apron is. Like the one I was looking at, it was on, what was it, Classical Gentleman or whatever, or the Vintage Gentleman, $170. Expensive. Here's one, $200. Handcrafted leather apron. Now this one has the right tie off. Oh, this one has a V tie off. Well, that's interesting. Where it goes over your shoulders, and then it has, like, in your shoulder blades, it has a ring, and that ring then goes down to your back tie. But for $200, you think it would have a little bit, a few more bells and whistles on it. I mean, you got one chest pocket and a clip. You have one center pocket, two side pockets, and it looks like a couple little slots for marking gauges. That doesn't have enough stuff on it for me. $200. That's no corners were cut on this apron. You have to hand tie. You have to hand tie your knot in the back out of leather cording. No, thank you. That looks like it was a corner that was cut, and I bet you any money that most of those those pockets that in none of those edges are beveled or burnished. I would bet money on that. It does look like it's a nice apron and stuff, but I would bet any money that those are raw edges. What this piece of art, here's what this piece, if art, features. One size fits all. Already, no, it doesn't. One size does not fit all. 4 large pockets and various specialty pockets. Pen loop and D-link for hanging tools. Made with genuine full grain leather. That does look like it's true. Heavy duty brass and copper hardware, yeah. Hand stitch, yeah, it does look like it's hand stitch, but yeah, this isn't. I mean, for what it is, it looks nice, but for that price, I would expect better. man cave collection they have. This is a very interesting website. See, this is kind of the stuff that I want to get into, but have it, or at least this is semi the aesthetic that I want to be in, but better, higher, better quality. Well, I like how I have two options on this mouse. No, this is kind of like, this is like a $60 mouse. You know, I have three main settings, but I can click the wheel and it's no longer a clicky wheel. I like the wheel being a little clicky, you know? Leather boots. Now, I do want to make myself a nice pair of boots, but like, you know, mid-calf boots or something. Not just work boots, but like proper shop boots. Let me see. We sent the link. This one is 500. Okay, let's look at this guy. Leatherbydragonfly.com. Master Custom Blacksmith Forged Leather Apron. Okay. Not as shapely as I want it, but this is... Alright, this is like 80% of kind of what I'm looking for. So everyone's on the same page. You see all that crap right across your chest? That's kind of what I'm looking for. So zoomed in a little bit. So you have all your marking stuff. You have a spot for a phone or whatever, and pocket for your square, and some calipers. Looks like he has a magnetic pocket right there. They can like pop a bunch of screws right under his chest right there. He has one pocket there, one pocket there. Then you have the split, so it fashions behind the knees, and then it extends. And then you have stuff on the one side of the leg, your shop rag and some other, something for your razor knife and stuff. The other side for a longer square and a hammer. And then there's one way to attach it, behind the back. This is a very good Allen. This was a great find, because this can help me visualize, the next step. I'm definitely going to have to save this link. Very good find. And there's a guy wearing a kind of a picture of it, so you can see, how it goes down, like to the knees. I think I'd make mine go down a little bit past the knee, but you can see, he has the extra reinforcement on his shoulders, the extra padding on his shoulders. That's kind of what I'd be going for. $565. I think I'd like to keep it below $500 because that's friggin' expensive. Each apron includes a live video sizing and design session. Now that's good because they're not saying one size fits all. Because things that are one size fits all fits everyone poorly. 5 to 6 ounce weight, so that'd be more than enough to be a good protective layer. Copper hand peen rivets, I like that. Stainless steel hardware, hem for structure. Sizes S to 5XL, left or right-handed. Custom designed pockets and placement. That's nice. Kevlar thread for durability. Alan, this was a great find. Thank you. I am definitely saving that link for when it comes time to really dive into designing my own thing. And I don't. Now I'm thinking about it, now I'm seeing that. I don't know if I want the gusset between my legs or not now. Oh, that boy's angry out there. He's about to get in trouble. Wow, that last half hour flew by. By the way, I'm drinking some Death Wish coffee, so... So before I got into this this morning, I looked at the time on the stove, and oh my god, it's 9:15 already. I'm so late. People are gonna get pissed. I'm not gonna get any views today. This is gonna suck. And Mick looked at me like, no, Chris, it's daylight savings time. Stop. You're fine. You have another 45 minutes. I was like, oh, thank God. But Alan, that was a great find. Thank you so much, and thank you for your input on the blacksmithing stuff. I actually might want your help when it comes to setting up the hood and stuff, and also what your input is on overhead hood versus a side hood. Because I know a side hood would keep a lot of the keep down a lot of the soot and everything. And I've always had in my head an overhead hood, but it looks like that's going to be a question for another day, or a topic for another day, or offline, because it's about 10 o'clock now. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I also really appreciate my patrons over at patreon.com/Knightsmith. They do amazing stuff, and I think once I get the shop tooled up, I might be just sending out a random thank you gift to all of them right before I redo that whole site and structure. But I'm not sure what to send them. So if you guys have any ideas on what I should send my patrons, just any gift at all, put a link down in the comment section down below, and we'll see if we can do that, because they help bring this content to you. They help me, pay rent, buy new materials, and just keep this whole machine going. They've been through me through thick and thin, especially since these videos, regular videos haven't been coming out. As I've been moving and dealing with a toddler and a job and moving the shop and getting everything set up and ready for production. They've been through me through thick and thin, and they deserve just a nice random gift every now and then, I believe. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you haven't yet, like, comment, subscribe, all that normal YouTube stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, and thank you for helping me make this world better, one curve at a time. See you later.